Hi, hello, welcome back to Bioenergetics. My name is Devaraj, and today I'm going to be looking at some techniques around kicking and punching, getting some emotional release like that. It's a little bit on the fringe of bioenergetics, but if you're into bio, you'll probably be interested in this stuff too. And I've even made myself a little script so I can act a little bit more professionally. I apologise, it's a little bit dark in the room and on the video, but if I put the lights on, they do this flickering thing on the video. So the first thing to say before we get stuck into some exercises is you need to be careful. The first time you do a kicking exercise or a bashing exercise, you need to not do it with your full strength because you might hurt yourself. And if you should hurt yourself, please don't write and blame me and generally whine like a bitch. Just accept that you hurt yourself by being a bit stupid. Secondly, let's look at some of the stuff you could use for this and some of the things you'll need. One very handy thing here is like a towel, quite a long towel with a knot on the end of it. We'll be using that in a minute. That's a very easy thing to make and to use. Also some cushions. I've got a couple of cushions here from the Australian group room. Quite solid ones that you can whack without hurting yourself. One thing, if you want to invest 20, 30 quid or $30 or so, is a yoga cushion. Some of these are quite strong and filled with I think buckwheat hulls or something, and they give quite a satisfying kind of whack when you hit them. Another thing you will need for some of the exercises would be a mattress, and these are not so easy to source, to be honest. Most of these ones were made from actually very dense foam, which is cut up into sizes, and then a mattress cover is applied around it rather. And they're not so easy to find, but you might be able to find a mattress that you can do some punching exercises with. That's the kind of stuff we're going to need. Also, just to mention, something very important is that you need, when you do these exercises, to make some level of sound. Now, you don't have to scream and shout, because I know if you're working in an urban environment, it's not really practical to make a lot of screaming and shouting. Someone next door neighbour might call the cops for a start, or your roommates, flatmates might get pretty pissed off with you. And but the basic thing with sound is to try and make it from the gut, from down here in the belly, where I'm talking right now. From the lower down you can make the sound, the bigger release you get. Because these exercises work a lot around the gut as well. They also open up the throat, but they work really at a gut level. Just as a slight aside, I'm hoping to test a couple of sound masks, or you can look around for some sound masks. They're starting to come voice muffling masks, make you look a bit like someone out of a horror movie, but there are a few around like Belt Box and Hush Me. I think Hush Me's not been fully developed yet. If you're interested in that area, you want to do some screaming and shouting, but it's just no way where you're living. You could check those out on YouTube or something like that, or on the internet anyway. Okay, so we've given enough introduction. I think let's look at some basic kicking exercises to start with. And if you're lucky enough to have something like a stack of matches or something pretty soft, you can do some basic kicking exercises against them, remembering you want to make some sound with each one. Just kind of building yourself up and then one foot. Then the sound is very important, some level of sound from your gut, because it creates a release lower down. And these are exercises, if you feel like you want to kick something, it can be a sign that, yeah, go ahead and kick something, not another person. Let's look again with the kicking. Take one mattress out, make sure you can see it. Put it back a little bit, or drop my camera just a little bit. Okay, so with kicking, you might also, for example, want to kick back against something. You can do this kind of down here and then get myself a bit closer. Kicking back, activates the legs, activates the gut. You can also do it on your back. Even a little. With an an exercise like that, you can really kind of try and exhaust yourself with it. You know, you get quite a strong release. Similarly, on a punch bag, you can just punch so hard and fast that you drain yourself. It's quite a good release. I haven't got the punch bag with me today, but that's good. And I just mentioned while we're here, another good kicking exercise, which is very powerful. You don't need to kick onto something with this one, but it's usually called get off my back. And what you do is you get in this tabletop position and you start to just kick backwards whilst expressing. So it might look a bit like, get the fuck off me, get off me, fucking get off me. You know, it's kicking out, and really, it's very, very healthy. It helps to release a lot of feelings of having people on your back or controlling you in some way. And whilst I'm just showing that one, I'll just briefly show you a similar exercise you can do with the elbows from the side. Getting a little bit, I'm going a little bit off piece with the script I've made, but never mind. And that is up on your knees, and starting to elbow backwards like someone's on your back. Like, fucking get off me. Notice the body doesn't twist a lot when you do this. It's like the movement is in the shoulders, in the elbows. Literally trying to elbow someone off your back. It's a very good release exercise. Okay. Okay, we've done some leg stuff. Let's have a look. What else are we going to do? Yeah. Fists on a cushion. This is a classic release exercise. You get a couple of cushions. Nice. You make sure they're solid enough for you to whack into. You can use if you've got a mattress, that's great. Of course, you can just use a bit of carpet to kneel on, or a yoga mat rolled up, a couple of folded over once if you need the insulation. And with this exercise, we're going to show you how to whack a cushion. And you might think, well, I don't need to be shown how to whack a cushion, but it is actually useful to do it a certain way because you're trying to get a release from the muscle system. And that means that you need to not just always follow your intuition, but actually learn how to really do it. And so the first thing you do is put your fists, we're going to whack the cushion, and you're going to put your fists together, not super tight, and not with your fingers interlinked, because you could hurt your fingers or even break one. And then you stretch right up like this, so that you're stretching as far back as you can with your arms, your pelvis, your belly coming forwards, and then you come down like, no! You know, it's a very good exercise to practice reinforcing your boundaries, you know, in life. You can either say no or just grunt as you come down and whack the cushions. And it gives you this kind of embodied sense of your boundaries. So it's a very useful exercise. Relating to sort of whacking things, let's get the old towel out as well. This is quite a satisfying little beast to use. And the satisfaction is an element of it, hey? So you take a towel and knot in it, and you can whack it against the floor. Try and get down low enough so you can see me, and just... It feels good, you know, that's the thing. It feels good. It feels good. It's like you're taking out some of your frustration on something, but you also are getting a release from your muscle system. And that's most of the exercise. We're going to do before we finish, I'll just demonstrate a good way to have a real tantrum, which uses a whole load of muscle groups and creates a really good release. Just now I spoke about also the value of doing some of these exercises until you're drained, you know, particularly like the kicking fast or punching a punch bag, you know, until you're really empty, because that will create an extra layer of release, and you can use that to the max in this exercise, just to have a kind of full-on little tantrum, and it goes a certain way. It's got three basic elements to it. You lie on your back, first of all, with your feet planted and your knees up, arms by your side with fists, basically. And it's got three elements. One is you're going to kick down on the mattress like this. It's like a little kid having a tantrum, you know, he didn't get his ice cream and his sister did, and you're going to have a freak out. And that's Second element is at the same time you're going to whack your fist down on the mat. And the third thing, very important, because a lot of people lock their neck, is you move your neck from side to side and you make sound. So those are the 4 elements. You can do them all at once in a minute. Feet down, fists down, side to side, and sound. And it just goes a bit like, you don't need to do it for long, 30 seconds is fine. It's like, It's great to have a little tantrum. Okay, so those are just some pointers basically, and feel free to experiment and try with this stuff. Like I say, just be careful that, one, if you've got any body injuries, you don't make them worse or exacerbates, push some area of your body, it's a bit too much. And secondarily, just do the exercise gently to start with, and then build it up till you're confident that you're not going to hurt yourself. Okay, and feel free to comment underneath, give me any of your experiences in doing this stuff. Bye for now. I feel like I've had a bit of a release making this video, and speak to you next time.